Penis.
I will make sure my Twitch is intended for mature audiences, Corey.
Yeah.
And no drawing penises on my Roll20 maps again.
I can't guarantee that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll remember that next time I go out for flurries. Alright then, so I think that with that's everything, unless anyone's got any questions or anything they want to talk about. I just need to quickly refresh my Roll20 because it's bugged. Any other questions before we kick off?
Nope.
Oh.
You wanted us to do backstory stuff. Didn't you?
Yes. Again, I think I may have mentioned it the last time. It's been a while. It's been like a month. If you want me to include more backstory and try and include those elements in the game, fill out some stuff on your backstory, and I'll see what I can do to include it in the game. So
That backstory is fucking huge.
Sorry? Your backstory?
Yeah.
Let's have a look at your sheet then. If it's more than 3 lines, I'll be impressed. Oh, it is more than 3 lines.
Hey, I put a lot of effort into this character, like fucking 4 months ago.
Fair enough. Okay, but yeah, if you have backstory in your characters, whack it on your character sheets, and I will read it. And Kyle, I haven't read your stuff yet. I was busy.
That's fine.
And final disclaimer: I am quite tired, and I'm also quite hungover right now, so be gentle. Yeah. Don't say that. Anyway. So just quick recap on the last session. So on the last session, all those weeks and weeks ago, ended up with a final confrontation with the big bad dragon after you traipsed through his lair, and instead of running away from the big bad dragon, he was shot.
Ranger decides, let's fight the dragon.
After a long, weary slog through a lava-filled cavern, fighting small dragons, draconic creatures, being exhausted, no spell slots remaining, nothing. What do? We shoot the fucker. And luckily came out on top.
The gods and the GM was on our side, and we didn't die.
I almost said "fuck you all" and just ran down the other path.
I thought they were all filled up with lava.
There was. I'm sure he would have probably rather taken the fire damage to his feet and still get out of there. Anyway, so you obtained a number of magical items from the Dragon's Hoard, a bit of gold, etc. Harvested some scales, some hides, some teeth, a horn, and a few bits and bobs like that. After defeating the dragon, the magical orb that he had been working on, that he'd been chasing around, rolled off and fell into the pool of lava, unleashing a extremely big skeletal dragon, thousands and thousands of years old, which a few of you did recognise almost in terms of voice from visions that you'd had in the past. He then promptly left. He thanked you for freeing him, blew a hole in the roof, and fucked off. After that, the cave kind of started, the cavern started to come down a little bit, started to kind of fall apart, so everyone retreated and headed into the old cultist dungeon, where you kind of divvied up the loot, had a bit of a identifying session, and I think that's pretty much where we left off. So what we'll say is, if everyone's had a long rest, so feel free to whack all your healths and everything back up to maximum. For those of you who that remembered, you did all level up to level 5. So yeah. if you're not level 5 in your character, you can either do it as we go along or a bit later on, but it doesn't bother to me. But
Every
the
time.
noise of leveling up.
I was trying to hold the mic, but I can't mute it at the moment. It's not
Anyway.
Can we expect that every time we level up?
I'm sure it can be arranged.
I'll record you a senpai.
So everyone's level 5, you've got a hoard of magical goodies, and everyone is fully rested. You're currently sat in the cultist dungeon. What do you want to do?
Wait, we're in the cultist dungeon. Weren't we just going to basically leave?
Yes.
So, if I was to give you any suggestions, something like heading to one of the large towns or cities to recuperate, sell off some of your stuff, do some repairing, stuff like that, might be a good idea.
Oh, I didn't add my hit die. Wait, Nathan, you'll be able to speak for this. I have 31 I had 31 HP last session, didn't I?
That sounds about right. So you should be
So-
at about 40-ish. Maybe just under.
Wait, who's Kinder Agrog?
Nobody. I don't know where you're getting that from. There's no Kindar in the session yet.
Kida.
Glares at somebody.
Hey?
Don't worry about it, guys. Don't worry. You didn't see anything. Anyway, what do you want to do?
I say we go to Thunder Tree because that's where those men who took the orb were going to go back to and then all died.
Thunder Tree.
Is that right?
No. They were heading
Where were they gonna
towards
go?
Neverwinter, not Neverwinter. Sorry, they were heading towards Candlekeep.
That's it, Candlekeep. I say we go there.
Where's Candlekeep?
Who fuck
Candlekeep.
knows?
Candlekeep is to the south of us.
Okay.
Someone's leveled up again.
God damn it, guys! Stop leveling up.
Um,
Okay,
I'm
so
just bringing up the area map. Is this on the area map?
no,
Or is this
No.
on the
No.
Battleland map?
there
off
is
the boss
a
of it.
new, improved, larger area map though, which
Oh,
is on its way to
tell
now.
me.
So just to
Large
give you,
area map. Yay.
to give you an
Ooh.
idea, if you can see where Baldur's Gate is right at the bottom,
Mhm.
Candlekeep's below that. You guys are probably about where the R in Sword Mountains is. In order to travel to Candlekeep would probably take you about 2 weeks.
Let's not go there.
Why do we need to go to Candlekeep?
My thinking was, those guys know how to kill dragons, presumably. If anyone's going to know, it's going to be them. And now the
Obviously
big one.
not. They didn't.
They didn't do
Candlekeep
very
is
well.
renowned. Candlekeep is renowned as the biggest library on the continent. It's the greatest centre of magical learning in the lands of Faerun. They aren't so much. Well,
And also keepers of magical artifacts.
yes. If you've got something really powerful that no one knows what to do with, it's probably in their vaults.
Which is where this was heading. Until stuff happened.
Oh, they're going to be really pissed when we tell them we broke it.
I think the first thing we could do is go back to Phandalin and do some stuff in Phandalin.
Fenlon
It's
is the murder
empty,
thing.
isn't it?
Destroyed?
Yeah, it's like everyone left.
Phandalin
Everyone-
is abandoned. Well, the last time you were in Phandalin, there was no one else there. It was pretty abandoned.
Oh,
to a
shit,
ghost, town.
I think the best bet would probably be Neverwinter.
You can either go to
Yeah.
Netherwinter or to Waterdeep.
Yeah, some surrounding places would be cool.
My suggestion would be Waterdeep, but that's up to you guys where you go. Purely because I've written stuff at Waterdeep.
No, that's
it's
not
transferable
total
for either, so go where you fancy. But just again, not trying to railroad you guys, but if you remember that, bye Charlie. If you look at the name of the campaign, you can kind of guess where it's all meant to be. It's probably going to be focused around, and Waterdeep's closer to that. Just
Yeah.
saying. You can never if you want, but you don't have to come back down.
But Waterdeep
that's-
is meant to be one of. I think Waterdeep is probably the biggest city in this area.
If there was a capital of the north, which there isn't, but if there was, it would be Waterdeep. It is huge.
Yeah.
So there are smithies and stuff like that in Waterdeep.
It is the largest
Waterdeep-
city in the north.
Many things to
If
do.
you need it. If you need it, it's there.
Yeah, whatever you want,
Yeah.
you go and find it there.
If there were a place where people would have sort of ran to from Phandalin, would it have been Waterdeep?
Possibly. You don't really know. You couldn't really tell.
Well,
Look.
it's if you wanted to be nowhere near what was the dragons, then Waterdeep's not a bad place because it's a really powerful place in its own right, and it can probably defend itself better than almost everywhere else.
Sounds
Okay.
good. Let's head there.
I'm game for Waterdeep.
Yeah, let's do it.
Alright.
Okay, in order to travel to Waterdeep, it's probably going to take you a couple of days. Probably from where you are, you could probably do it in about 3 days travel.
Well, I'm assuming that's with horses, because that's a hell of a long way to go without.
4 days. It'll take you an amount of time to get to Waterdeep.
Grimble, can you turn into 6 horses?
Guys, I'm just saying,
Or
with
one
my
giant
boots,
I something similar.
with my boots, it'll probably take me about 6 hours. So fuck you.
Your boots are nowhere near that powerful, Corey.
Okay,
They
we'll
last
see you
10
there.
minutes a day.
Can our druids summon a potato horses?
The druid is currently in the caverns. Turned off.
What
Is there any what beasts are of a rating of 1/4 or lower?
1/4 or lower, you're looking at things like, I think you're looking more at like wolves, piddling
Spiders?
stuff really. Not even like large spiders, not giant spiders. But like we're talking spiders that are like I don't know. Let's have a look.
2 foot tall.
So you're
If
looking
you look
for
in
a
the back-
quarter.
Yeah, if you look in the back of the player's handbook, there's a
Quarter,
whole list
at
of
worst
Okay.
half.
Quarter, you got boars is a quarter, 1/8 for a bloodhawk, camels are an 1/8.
Ooh.
Snake, constrictor snakes are a quarter. A draft horse is a quarter. An elephant is a 4. Flying snake is an 1/8. Elk is a quarter. You kind of get the idea. Giant badger is a quarter. Giant
One of my
centipede.
Wait. Giant badger is actually a beast.
Giant badger
Yeah.
is here.
Where's he put the CR?
giant badger sounds badass.
You can't see it because it's backwards, obviously. But giant badger.
Giant honey badger.
And
Ooh.
yeah, no. Giant boars, giant bat is a quarter. Giant crocodile.
How
is a
many
5.
creatures would you say? How many creatures would you say a giant eagle would be able to carry?
Giant eagle, probably 1. And that's a CR one. They are large. They could be mounted by 1 person, probably.
Where's
Should we just walk?
CR on the descriptions?
I think walking's the only way here.
Yes,
But, I mean,
walk. We walk.
I could get 2 giant eagles, and then I'm sure the gnomes would be able to just take one between them.
It's true. You're probably best off walking.
We walk to Waterdeep.
Okay.
Awesome.
All right.
Yeah.
Did we find any baby
Should we
dragon
get
eggs?
some horses?
Well, we have actually now got enough money that we can, if we can find someone that will sell us one, we can buy one.
Yeah, but I think the only town between here and Waterdeep is destroyed.
So in terms of the only kind of stuff around you, so again in the Sword Mountains, I mean you've got Fandolin, which is nearby, which is currently a ghost town. Technically, the nearest
What about Lillian?
Lelian,
Lillian, can we buy something there?
you might be able to. You've never been.
Well, I'm just thinking if we're following the road to Waterdeep, we've kind of got to go past there if we're not going to go over the mountains and try and dodge that bloody bear again.
I like that fight. That was a good bear.
Not that bad.
We can kill that
It
bear.
was until someone shot it in the butt.
Who was that?
No idea. Yeah, Lelian is like an outpost on the way. From what you know of it, you haven't really been there before, but it's it's a small mining town.
Well,
We
I'm
could
just
hire
thinking-
some
Probably
dwarves to
similar in
ride.
size to Fandolin.
well, as it's on the high road, one would think it might be a place where we could pick up mounts.
Should I, in the meantime, just use conjure animals to conjure 8 riding horses?
Can you do that?
I
Makes
can.
sense if you can do
They
it.
are.
Yeah, do that then.
I mean, it will burn my level 3 spell slot, but yeah, I can do it.
No, we don't mind.
How long do they last for?
Get one for Ferris as well while you're there.
How long does the spell last?
Only an hour.
I mean, you can make an extra hours of progress.
Can we get to Lelian in that time, or is that?
Not
I
an
think
hour.
all of
Not
I
an
think
hour.
all of this has gone slightly too far now.
If you to probably get to Lelian is, you're not exactly sure where it is. Like I say, you've never been there before. But to get to Lelian is probably about half a day. Half a day's
We're
travel
probab-
from where. If you followed along, wrong map. If you followed along, wrong map again. If you followed along the mountain line, you could probably reach Lelian in. Say it's morning now. You can probably reach it by mid-afternoon. Probably about 8 hours of travelling.
Let's do that.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, well, it's get away from where the cultists are likely to come back to.
Yeah.
If they do come back. Either way, unless we happen to want to kill some more of them, we probably don't want to be here.
That doesn't sound like a bad idea.
Yeah.
Okay then.
HP, right?
Can I have a marching order, please?
Alan can go first. Unless,
Shall we do
Temerity,
that?
you want to go first.
I can go first.
To
you
scout
just-
with your eyes.
Shall we do it on the map?
I'm guessing.
feel like
I'm just creating a path map at the moment. Give me 2 seconds.
I'll go. Okay, Temerity, you go first. I'll go right behind you.
Okay. Ferris is walking next to me. Like he does. That's not next.
Made a mistake. Yeah, I'll do. Okay, so if I just do this. There you go. There you go. Nice little walkie map for you.
Yes, I have a distinct sense of deja vu for some reason.
Leave my maps alone.
Is there any,
Wait,
is there any cake
is that pink
out
pre new?
It's actually a new one. You guys have not seen this one before.
This was a map where I've seen cake traps previously hidden.
Yes.
Yeah.
No. It is slightly different. I tried to recreate that map.
It's a
and
trap.
failed. Anyway,
Why do I sense that I should be worried about giant beetles?
there are no giant beetles that you know of. So if you just want to drop, you should be able to drop yourselves onto the map. Fine. If you just drag your tokens onto there, you should be alright to go from there. And then just whack yourself in a marching order, going from, in this case, east to west.
So wrong.
I'll go near the back, but I can't move myself because the iPad. So if someone can put me there, that'd be great.
Mine didn't work so good.
Have I not done your tokens properly? Okay, so
Yeah, how do I drag my token?
you should just be able to, if you're on the journal, if you just highlight over your name so it goes blue, and then just drag it
Oh.
onto the map.
Yeah, it's worked.
And I've already got you on that already, so.
But-
Oh god, Gribble the bear.
Oh, that's good.
Just wanted
We've
to
got a
see what
bear
happened.
thing. It's no longer a giant gnome.
I know. Slight,
No.
it's in patch version 1.2. The giant gnome icon has been replaced by a bear. Okay, I think Ferris should work now as well.
Yep, I got
Grimble
him.
leveled up.
Yay! And we're missing one. Who are we missing? 1, 2, 3, 4.
We're missing Charles. No, we're not. Never
No,
mind.
we're missing Rigo.
Can somebody move me?
There you go, you're on there.
It's not. This iPad's really bad for doing this. I can't even see anything.
Fair enough.
Rigo appears to be at half health.
No, Rigo!
I've tripped over on the way.
He hit his head very hard. He's also not leveled up.
Yeah, I've been trying to sort that out just over really.
That's alright, don't worry.
Oh, this iPad's so bad.
Okay, so if you want to just whack yourselves in your marching order.
I shall stand behind the tank.
From what side?
We're going from east to west, so right to left. You can imagine the mountain. You're actually following alongside the mountain at the moment, so
Mountains are to the south.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did that rock just appear there?
We're being stalked by a rock.
This is
Rick-
No, that's a
Rigged
shambling mound. It's a shambling mound.
Oh,
Many
thank you.
naan breads.
go.
The druid's coming to take his revenge.
There's a mountain line, so you're kind of following this like path that goes along the mountain at the moment.
Alright. I want to keep my eyes open as I walk for anything that looks suspicious, like moving rocks.
Yeah. Okay. So the head of the party, Temerity, if you want to make me perception checks for me.
There we
You
go.
see everything. So are you looking around just for like movement or anything coming at you?
Yeah, just anything that looks out of the ordinary.
Some terrible mountains. So okay, you guys have been travelling for a good period of time now. Nothing's really come up. You haven't really come across any strengths. What you'd normally see around at this moment, you normally see small creatures, birds, rabbits, that kind of thing. The entire area seems... Bye, Charlie. The entire area seems pretty desolate, dead. The plant life is still there. Some of it's still quite dry. If you remember when you were going through Fandlin, the air was quite dry. It was quite dusty. It's still like that. Trees are a bit withered. Grass is a bit yellowed on the ends. There's not a lot of creatures around. But apart from that, you don't really encounter anything that you'd consider out of the ordinary.
Okay.
Apart from 16 mephits.
Suddenly, out of nowhere, 17 mud mephits. One of them's depressed. Sorry, joke from another campaign. Okay, so yeah, you've been travelling now for a good 4 or 5 hours. Not a lot. You've not seen much. Not a lot's going on. By this point, you have managed to reach the main road. So if you just look to the area map, you can see. If you travel along the mountains, you come out just north of Lelian, probably a couple of miles away, but you've actually managed to find what was known as the High Road.
Mm-hmm.
You can either go south or you can go north.
See, guys, I told you I knew where I was going.
Can I go to the beach?
You can, if you want to, go to the beach.
Aren't the beaches terrible around here?
If you look hard enough, you might find a nice little secluded spot where you can have a picnic or something.
Maybe
It's
I can
worth-
see a giant squid.
Maybe.
Shit's worse than New Jersey.
So, would you like to just carry on south towards Lelian, or...
Yep.
Yeah,
So-
maybe so.
Should we actually
Sounds
talk
good.
about sort of what's happened and the fact that we've just seen a really big, nasty bone thing come out of the lava, or
I hate it when I say
are we just going to go, yeah, it happened?
I think we're ignoring it.
I think you pretty much just covered everything that happened.
Yeah, I'm sort of...
Grimble's
I'm
kinda-
repressing that.
Grimble's kind of muttering to himself, "That is freaking awesome," but scary at the same time.
You know, now you've seen it, can you turn into that?
I don't think it works like
Because
that.
that would
I
help.
have my fortunately.
Yeah.
The reason that I said we should go to Candlekeep was because maybe they would know what to do with that. Because, like, Elland has no clue. Like, there's no way that we can kill that where we are now. So we need some exterior input.
Well, in all fairness, there's no way we should have been able to kill the dragon that we did without that magical artifact and some really good rolls / DM God intervention.
That's definitely true.
And this thing was a lot bigger than that.
I'm pretty sure I missed a lot of my strikes when I was a bear.
I think you missed a couple of them.
I missed most of my attacks, I know that.
Yeah, we definitely shouldn't have killed it. We shouldn't have been allowed to. We should have all died.
Yeah.
I
So
did
that-
contemplate it.
So trying to take on something which is considerably bigger and would have squashed the thing that should have killed us strikes me as being a little out of our league.
Yeah, what do we do?
Yeah.
Just ignore it until we're stronger, or what?
I don't know. We haven't really decided, have we? Do we tell anybody about what's happened? Do we...
Hi
hey
guys,
guys,
the
we
massive
just woken up
giant
at...
dragon that just flew off ice. We did that, aren't we good?
I think tell the Knights of Candlekeep or whatever they are.
Yes. We're heroic. We've just unleashed a massive evil on the world and walked off.
And we destroyed your
So-
artifact. Sorry.
Well, yeah, what if we just tell them we broke it and left?
That
we,
was
don't
it.
tell
Was
them,
the
we don't tell them about the dragon.
it was the dragon that broke it anyway.
Yes.
That's true.
What do I say? You broke
Yeah,
it,
that
you
is-
bought it. Here's the bill.
We should just tell them the
Oh,
truth
shall we?
and tell them to lava.
Okay, so by this point you've been travelling south on the high road for a good probably 30 minutes now, travelling towards the town of Lelian. In the distance, you can all see this quite clearly. You can see a big pillar of smoke just rising up from just beyond your line of sight
In which
to
direction?
the south, in the direction you're heading.
Yeah, something tells me we should go the other way.
Airport. Yeah.
Okay.
We should have gone to the beach.
I told you I had some good ideas.
So presumably that's the dragon's fault.
Well, what, the new one? Or the
Yeah.
old
Well, either. I don't know.
one? Well, the old one set fire to things. We don't know what the new one does, other than it's
True.
big and scary.
Could be a friendly.
Does it need anything else?
I'm still betting on that billow. That billow of smoke is like 10 smoke methods.
just stacked on top of each other.
Yeah.
If we're going to a mining town, maybe the miners are having a bonfire.
Let's find out. We need to find out. We'll head
Yeah.
towards it.
Either way, we're not doing anything better. Let's go and walk into the next thing.
Let's
I don't know
walk-
why you keep. I
let's
don't know
just
why you
walk
keep letting me
gladly
scout
to our
things.
doom. Okay, so as you do near what you assume is the outpost of Lelian, you can see a few buildings in the distance, or what's left of them. You can see several plumes. Now you get a bit close, you can see that one big plume of smoke you saw was several plumes of smoke arising just from across the town. As you start near the outskirts, you can see this town is probably a similar size to what Fandolin was, maybe slightly larger, and had it was a bit larger than Fandolin. And from where you are at the moment, you're probably you're a good couple of 100 feet away now. You can see several. You can see the smoke rising from some of these buildings. Some of them seem to have collapsed. There are a few there are lots of rubble around, and you can also, as you get a bit closer, you start to notice some rubble nearby, alongside the paths, like smoking rocks and things like that. Probably about
Smoking.
that.
Okay.
Now
Right,
see
closer.
anything?
Sorry.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
So,
want to move up.
things have been set on fire. Do we see any bodies?
Okay, from where you are, you can see movement. You can see what looks like humanoids moving around,
Mm-hmm.
but from where you are, you don't see corpses.
Let's approach.
Are we you know that weird spirit from before? Are we successfully free of that now?
You mean the Revenant?
Yeah, that dude.
He's not turned.
How
up
many
yet.
hours has it been?
I don't know. I haven't been keeping track of you guys.
Is it Revenant o'clock yet?
You haven't seen him.
I haven't got the lance anymore. I left it behind because it splintered, didn't it?
It did. The lance did shatter.
Bit.
Doesn't mean he's not angry.
Well,
If I recall, yeah, he
Because
does
not
hold
only
his
now have you
grudge.
taken his lance, you also broke it.
And now he's made broke it.
So
Oh no, not we broke it. Ellen broke it.
thanks. Also killed the dragon, guys.
I know.
So, you haven't seen Mr. Revenant. So, okay, as you get closer, you can now make out and you can assume what seems to have happened. You can see several large, smoking, almost like boulders, have crashed through the town. You can see large chunks of rock smoking. Some of them still warm and glowing with embers as well, and they seem to have crashed into a large number of the buildings around.
knew I should have checked out this rocks.
So your
Are you saying
assumption
these things have fallen from the sky?
that's what it looks like. So what you can probably guess from what happened before is an assumption would be when your lovely friend broke through the ceiling, it was almost the force of an erupting volcano to the outside, which scattered large chunks of rocky debris, ash, smouldering rocks all around, and it seems to have come down quite heavily in this area. The sound is still
That's a
together.
long way.
Yeah, I wonder how long it took the rocks to get here, because we could have just taken that path.
They took more of a trajectory.
It's a continental ballistic rock.
ICBR. So you can see a large number of rocks have landed. So some of the buildings are still intact. It looked like previously there had been some fires. The fires have been put out, but some of the buildings are still smouldering. People are still around. As you get closer, you can see people moving around, pulling people, not pulling people around, sifting through the debris. It looks like this probably happened around not long after your last encounter, and obviously you've rested and you've travelled since then, so it's probably happened a good, not quite 24 hours ago, but not long ago, and they're still recovering from the aftermath.
Yes.
Should we help?
We know nothing about these rocks. Nothing to do with us.
So yeah, as you approach, you kind of get to what looks to be the main gates of the city. You can see it's surrounded by a pretty simple like wooden palisade fence. Quite tall. It's about 8-9 foot tall in terms of this fence, and you can see an opening where a gate. The gate is still there, just kind of swinging on its hinges, but currently no one's manning it. And inside, you can see not the panic, but kind of people sifting through the debris and picking up what's been going on.
Okay. Well, I'm sick of camping. Is there anywhere that hasn't had a rock that's dropped on it that looks like they might sell me some food and give me a bed for the night?
There are a number of buildings still, a couple of buildings still standing. You can also see several hastily erected tents knocking around as well.
Erected.
Okay. Walk up to Soldier. What's happened, and where might travellers find lodgings in this place?
So you kind of go up to one guy. He seems to be sifting through the rubble, looking for things. He kind of looks up as you approach. You can see he's tired. His dreary eyes. He probably hasn't slept at all. He goes, sorry. What?
We're travellers. Where might we find lodging? What happened here?
It happened yesterday. We were all just day as normal, and suddenly these fiery rocks fell from the sky. We heard a boom. Don't know what happened really. We're just trying to pick up. As for where to stay, he kind of points over in that direction, and you can see a crater. And that was the tavern. If you're looking for food, you might find some in one of the large tents over there that we've set up.
Yes. Okay. Is it normal for rocks to fall here?
Not that I'm aware of.
Well, you live here.
I've never had a rock fall on me before.
It's just. Well, I'm sorry if I'm saying something out of turn, but if I'm walking into a town that's just had large rocks, well, it kind of makes you wonder if it's safe.
I think a lot of people here are thinking the same thing. But a lot of people have already packed. They lost everything. They've already packed up what they had left and headed south towards Waterdeep for shelter. I have a feeling most of us will be doing that once we've looked after our wounded.
It
wasn't your fault.
So what did you say?
What did you say, Alan? Or
That was Daz, wasn't it?
Daz, sorry. I keep getting you guys mixed
It
up.
totally wasn't our fault.
Okay. Oh, I can't see how it would have been. He says. Now, is there anything else I can help with? I'm trying to find some of my possessions. He looks very
Hey,
sad.
what about horses?
There were some stables, but all the horses bolted
Oh,
during the night.
what a waste of time
Or
coming
during
here.
the rain. Boulders.
I turn to our sort of naturey type people, and is rounding up lost animals something you guys could help with?
I could track them probably, but it'd be an ordeal. Horses are fast, especially when they're spooked. It'd be an ordeal to get them.
Don't they tend to... Well, I don't know about horses. I thought they return to familiar surroundings, and, well, domesticated ones, don't they want to be fed or something?
They would. It's likely that they'll come back, but they'll most likely come back to the stables where they were from. But nobody, you can't really tell how long it'll take.
Oh, okay. It's just a thought. It's not really my area. I tend to leave it to you sort of woodsy type people.
From the
I
desert.
have a decent animal handling in nature.
If you want, you can try and track down these lost mounts.
Well, I'm going to the tent. I want some food. I want to go somewhere where I've got something above me that is more than leaves.
Okay, so you can see a couple of quite large tents that have been set up just on the other side of the village. Would you all like to head over there? Are you all heading over there?
Yep, I follow.
Yeah, I guess.
Yep.
Okay, so you kind
May
of
as well.
open up this tent, and you can see it's more like a bit like a marquee. You can see a few benches, a few bunks that have been set, a few very basic